Alright, what is going on, boys? Welcome back to a brand new video. Today I am doing 5 best ways to improve fast in MX bikes. So today it's just going to be giving you 5 top tips that I have found that really help me either improve or just things that I still focus on to this day with over 3,000 hours. So yeah, I hope you guys do enjoy, and yeah, stick all the way through, learn the tips, and yeah, I guarantee it will help you improve in the game.
So yeah, the first technique we're going to be working on is core and technique. So you don't actually need to counter lean in ruts that actually properly hold you. So you don't actually need to counter lean. You can see my right stick here on my controller overlay. I'm not actually counter leaning. So that is the tip 1. If the rut actually holds you, you don't need to counter lean. And obviously always be smooth on the throttle. If you keep rolling on the throttle, it will keep it at a nice steady pace all the way through. It won't upset the back end or the front end. But yeah, just focus on them 2 things and you'll be good. Next up is scrub technique. So what I'm doing is I'm coming up to the jump, I'm leaning over towards the left, which is the way that I scrub. I'm sitting down right on the lip, and then as soon as I'm in the mid part of the jump is when I'm standing up. So you want to be leaning right over going up the jump, and then sit down right as you're about to take off, and then you want to stand back up again in the midpoint, and that straightens the bike back up again. So as you can see here, I'm leaning right over, I sit down right on the lip, and then stand back up again. It's quite a quick motion. It comes with just playing the game. But these are the basics of it. So lean over, right on the lip, sit down, and then as soon as you're at the midpoint of the jump, stand back up again, and that sort of brings the bike back around again. As you can see from the slow motion here, I sit down right on the lip, stand up, and then as soon as you're in the midpoint, you want to stand, and then straighten the bike back up again, right back on the power, get going. Next up, we have being smooth on the throttle around flat corners. So if you can watch my controller overlay here at the bottom right, you can see that I'm not counter leaning. I counter lean when I have to. So if I feel like the front end is getting a little bit twitchy, or I feel like I'm leaning over too much, maybe I'll try and counter lean just to straighten the bike, bring it up a bit. But yeah, I'm sort of keeping the body weight very central. I'm not trying to make it side out. I'm not trying to make the front end tuck or anything. So I'm really just trying to be central on the bike. You can see that I only really counter lean when I'm swapping directions of the bike. This is a really good track to show it. You can be really smooth going around the left, and then you straighten up, and then you swing it over to the right. So you've got to be really smooth on the throttle. I'm rolling the throttle around the entire corner. I'm not blipping it. I'm not going bruh. I'm not doing that around the corner. You want to keep a consistent, smooth throttle all the way around. And then you're wide open here in this bit. And then you can see me counter lean over to the left a bit, just to bring the bike a bit lower. And then you swing it up. As it's an off camber turn, you do want to counter lean a little bit. You can kind of see my control overlay. I'm counter leaning a little bit around the corner, just trying to keep it smooth, balance the bike out, and yeah. Next up is just experimenting with line choices. Now these tracks are kind of one line now for outdoors, but obviously there's thousands of tracks in this game, so not every single track is going to be one line obviously. But just experiment with line choices, try different lines. If there's something that's got like 4 or 5 different ruts in it, try each one, try every single one, set a marker and just try each one, see which one you feel comfortable with. Not every single line that everyone else is doing is going to be good for you. So just because it's like a hot lap line or everyone else is doing it, doesn't mean it is the best line for you. So I noticed a lot of people in the main were going all the way around the outside here and railing it, but I found a good line through the middle that I felt comfortable with, so there's no reason for me to change my line. I kept doing the exact same thing. So as you can see here, you can go all the way around the outside, you can absolutely rail it, you can go wide around the entire corner on a 450. And then this was a line that I enjoyed, going from like rut to rut. There's like a little middle point where there's no rut, and I found that kind of nice, so you could sort of break the corner up. You could like do one line and then focus on going to the next one. So just experiment, try different lines, see what works for you, see what works with your setup. But yeah, just experiment, try new things, try different things, and see which one works best for you. This is more of a race tip than like a normal MX bike, like a normal kind of tip, that makes any sense. So in the races, always just find a pace that you're comfortable with. Don't push, don't go for heaters. Don't worry about the fastest lap of the race or anything. Consistency is a lot better than just raw speed. So I found it a lot better in Supercross to literally do my own thing, run my own pace, find my own speed. And I did that in Supercross. I haven't found that in outdoors yet, which is really annoying. I haven't found the pace that I can just be like comfortable with. I've not felt comfortable on any of these tracks that we've had out yet. Just focus on consistency. Do not worry about faster lap times whatsoever. I've never been in a race and I've gone, oh no, I don't have the fastest lap time. That does not bother me whatsoever. I can have like 14th fastest lap time and then get like 2nd, 3rd or whatever in a race, 4th. And I'd be much happier with that than my actual like lap time itself. So just focus on being really smooth. Focus on where you're braking, where you're shifting, throttle control, being smooth on the throttle, where you're like leaning, counter leaning, everything like that. just focus on being smooth. That should be your main priority while in a race. It's a lot easier to do like 1-2 seconds off the pace and being consistent than the people that are like 3 seconds quicker a lap crash. It just like cancels each other out if you just do a hot lap crashing. If you just run a steady pace, a second or two off the lap times, and yeah, just be smooth. Trust me, it'll be a lot better in the long run. Just hold a pace, be smooth, and trust me, you'll be passing people that are crashing left, right, and center. So this one is one of them ones where you don't really want to be thinking about it while you're riding. You don't want it to be in the back of your mind. So this one is shifting. So you want to be shifting in the air or when you're not on the floor. So if you're like jumping over a break and bump, shift. If you're in the air, shift. You don't want to be shifting when you're on the floor, because you come off the throttle for about, I don't know how much it is, like maybe half a second, maybe half a second, but like that loses you temps if you're going for like a quality time or something like that. So you don't want to be shifting when you're on the floor. So always try to shift in the air, or if you jump in a break and bump or something, that's when you want to be shifting. It saves you time, it adds up towards the end of your lap time, but just make sure you're shifting in the air or when you jump in a break and bump or something. Trust me, it adds up towards the end of your lap time. So very, very good tip just to practice, and one of the things that you really want just to become muscle memory. And you don't want to be shifting too much as well. It's one of them things where I notice a lot of people go from like first to fourth in like one short straight. Like you don't need to do that, obviously, depending on your gearing. But if you run like a normal 1350, 1351 or 14 on the front, you don't really need to shift as much as you think. You can get away with literally going second and third around an entire outdoor track. Fourth is very, very rare for me personally, but I always just go second, third. That's always where I swap between. And the final tip of today's video is going to be using the entire track. Open the track up, use the entire track. It's all there for you to use. Obviously, if there's people around you, maybe don't use the entire track because you'll just take them out. But if you're doing like hot laps, or obviously if you're on your own in the race, then use the entire track. It's all there for you to use. If you can see here from the video in the background, I'm going far outside if it's a tight corner and swinging all the way into the inside, and that just opens up the corner so much. As you can see here, you can hold it wide all the way around here, because I'm not hugging the inside or hugging the outside. I'm either going all the way inside to all the way outside, or all the way outside to all the way inside. You can just hold the throttle wide open, and here as well, you can be really, really smooth on the throttle, go all the way around. You don't really have to like keep braking, going, you just hold momentum, you carry speed around the entire corner, around the entire track. And yeah, it just keeps that flow going. You don't get into a flow, or you lose the flow when you start braking, throttle, brake, throttle, brake, throttle. If you can keep like swinging the bike around, being smooth, holding, carrying momentum. See here, tight 180 corner. You don't want to be hugging the inside the entire time. You want to be going far outside, hugging in, and then yeah, you can get out of the corner really, really good. You get a really, really good exit. So it's all about entrance and exit for these corners. You really just want to be smooth, and yeah, you just hold a really, really good speed, really good momentum. But yeah, that'll do it from me. I hope all these tips will help you improve, get better at the game. And yeah, appreciate you guys watching. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.